So I presume we got Terrifier 3 on the docket for today?
That's what we got, I think.
All right, so welcome to the Prison Wallets with Raymond and Keith Daniel. I don't have a longer name.
No one fucking calls me that.
No one calls me Keith Daniel either. So we've been watching the Terrifier series, and to recap of our previous viewings of Terrifier 1 and 2. So obviously Terrifier 1 is like an insanely instant classic, not only just ludicrously cheap, but just awesomely made. And I guess if I had to say, I was thinking about it with Terrifier 2. I guess like how my brain kind of settled on Terrifier 2 is the Art the Clown side of the movie is just as awesome as ever. If anything, maybe, well, I don't know if it's, you'd have to debate which kill was crazier, the chick who got tied upside down in the first one, or just the random person who really didn't deserve it, who got super brutalized in the second one. I'm not sure which one was worse.
I don't know. It really is kind of a coin flip because, like, the girl in part two, she was completely brutalized, like torn to fucking part. But the girl from Terrifier 1, like, fully awake, hanging upside down, and getting a handsaw pushed through her, basically, like, just cutting her in half.
Yeah, like arguably what happened to the chick in the first one might have been worse, but at least she died faster. What made the second movie so insane is that chick just would not die. She just stayed alive.
I think the circumstances are a mitigating factor, too, because, like, in part two, Art's having the time, like, just a blast fucking brutalizing this girl, like, laughing and pointing, and it's fun to watch. Whereas in part one, when the girl's getting basically cut in half, I mean, he's just doing it, but he didn't look like he's having the same glee.
But yeah, basically I guess that's where my thoughts kind of fell on those is that the art parts of both movies are awesome. The main difference was the other side, the victims, where I definitely preferred in the first movie that the victims had no fucking hope, even a little. That there was no chance they just fucking all died or should have died, wished that they had died. Where in the second one, the main difference is that now there's a resistance and an ability to fight back. And I was thinking about that too, that it didn't even feel like the chick in the second one with her mystical stuff that she learned from her dad's diary and, dressing up as like the warrior. It doesn't even feel like she beat Art. It just feels like Art gave up. He just kind of was like, okay, I guess I'm ready for you to kill me now. So it just kind of weird on that side is that yeah, I don't need people to stand up and fight back. I'd be happy if they just died. So in that sense, I liked the first one better. But the art parts of both movies were great.
I just overall like the first one better out of all of them, to be honest. It's a more simple movie. Like, if they hadn't made any sequels, that would have been awesome. Whereas if they had just made part two, would I have liked it as much? Maybe not. I don't know. But the thing that part one and part three lacked that part two had that was really awesome was the little pale girl.
Oh, she's not in the third one.
She's not in the third one. No.
Yeah, she was neat. That was a neat way to kind of like just add something in that it had that weird sort of dream logic. It's like, yeah, I don't really know what was going on there, but it just kind of seemed cool. So I guess with the third one, again, I'm going in blind. The only thing I know about it is that it's a Christmas one, and it would be kind of cool if I didn't even know that, but I don't know how you could avoid it. I mean, it's on the cover, it's on every poster. It's like it'd be very hard not to know that this was Christmas themed, but that's all I know about it.
Yeah, because the first two are both on Halloween. And the little prequel thing as well. That's also on Halloween. So I don't know how they duck goose this shit, but they did, and we have a really great, probably the best horror Christmas movie ever.
Yeah, this is the first thing that comes to mind for me is fucking the Bill Goldberg Santa Claus movie, and that's I'm sure there's better stuff than that, Black Christmas or whatever. I don't know why that came to mind first.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Right. And what was even when we were watching Killer Clowns last episode, it made me think a lot of that Jack Frost movie with Shannon Elizabeth in it, where she gets like killed in the shower by the fucking snowman.
I've never seen it, but it sounds like something I'd dig.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. But yeah, I can't think off the top of my head of a ton, though, of extremely great Christmas-themed horror movies. So, yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for Terrifier 3.
Me too, again. Because I've seen it like 3 times.
So stay tuned and or go watch it. I guess I guess we just kind of like do it. I guess we never really explain what the process is here, but it's just that we talk about the movie and then we watch it and then we talk about the movie some more. So yeah, stay tuned, and if you want, go watch the movie.
Or jerk off.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or both.
yeah, we're totally comfortable with that. That's fine. Just leave a like and a comment to let us know. Yeah, leave a special code. Leave the code I love prison wallets to let us know that you jerked off while you listen to this. We'll know what it means. So yeah, I think you were right when you were saying how like the second one is like the worst of the best or whatever. Because I definitely like this one better than the second one. This was a big step up, like a big return to form kind of feel.
Yeah, I mean, the Victoria Hayes character got a great big boost in this one, and it worked out a lot better than all the shit that was happening in part two, except for, of course, the little pale girl. Like, I'm a big fan of the little pale girl, so.
Yeah, and I guess Victoria kind of it like stands in for that role. I guess maybe like because he already had a sidekick sort of in this movie, so I guess I can see why they didn't want to clutter it up with too many people. But yeah, I could have gone for the little pale girl to still be in it.
Yeah, I kind of noticed a bunch of things on this watch that sort of give me an idea as to where Art's background is going because they mentioned, the house being the home of a serial killer who killed a bunch of children and buried them in the basement. And, the little pale girl was a little girl that was murdered and ended up being a vessel for a fucking demon that accompanies Art. And then Victoria Hayes was another victim of Art who then became, extremely murderous. So, yeah, I think that's kind of where it's going to go, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be fucking weird as shit, but I was like, is she gonna literally just go into hell to try to save her niece? Like, is the next movie gonna be traveling through fucking hell? That'd be weird.
Yeah, I don't know that I would actually give a shit about that,
Yeah,
like.
that might be a little much. One thing I got to bring up because I've been commenting on it the whole way through, but now that we're at the end of the third one, I'll officially say it on the podcast. Is that I'm sure if you went through Damien Leone's family fucking albums, first off, he definitely grew up in a big house because everyone in these movies has a great big 2-story house. And I bet every single picture in his like family albums of everyone in his extended family, every single woman has shoulder length brown hair. That's just the New York Italian way because every fucking woman in all of these movies looks exactly the same, except there's always one blonde. One blonde, fairly major character in every movie. And I just think it's funny that they all look so the same. It's ridiculous.
So let's get the big kill out of the way. Like there's in each of these movies, there's been like a really standout, brutal, extremely well done, extremely violent thing that happens to a character, or in this case, characters. Talking about the shower scene where the annoying, pushy podcaster girl and the little brother's roommate were getting it on in the shower. Like, man, that was a brutal scene.
Yeah, and just so because I mean, there's always the weird ironies to the stuff that Art does. Like I love in this Santa's got to have a beard, so he fucking tears that guy's beard off and wears it. So it was a similar thing with this fucking annoying chick with the podcast who's like, I just want to look in his eyes and see the evil. So of course she gets to. She doesn't quite die yet till he takes off his sunglasses and stares at her. But also I was joking that when the cool guy is very similar to the cool guy in the second one who got his dick cut off. And I was like, I wonder if this guy's going to get his dick cut off. Not exactly, but I think what happened to this guy is even fucking worse. Holy fuck, that guy got not good stuff happened to that guy.
No, I mean, he basically got ass fucked by a chainsaw, and that was after having limbs cut off. Like, it was just all out. Like, so good. So well done.
And I loved because, these movies, obviously, they basically just show everything. They're not too shy about it. But there's one thing that I did kind of miss in the second movie that happened in the first. These little teeny quick shots, like in the first one, the one that always comes to mind for me is that first, the guy at the pizza place that gets killed, and they just show that quick shot of his little tongue waggling in his smashed up face. And there wasn't really a shot like that in the second one, but this one had it with that guy's dick. You only see it for a second, sort of flopping to the side as he's getting chopped in half, but it just makes it extra funny that you only see it for like a fraction of a second. But it's like, yep, there's his bloody dick.
And then, of course, the Santa in the bar, getting his face frozen with liquid nitrogen, and then, literally having his face sort of ripped off slash bashed off. Like, so good.
Yeah, that's another thing I like that just felt more like the first one is like that whole scene in the bar reminded me of just when Art was just sort of toying with the girls in the pizza place at the start. Where the second one was like, let's have the dream sequence with the, the kid show or whatever, more of that type of a feel. Where I like where Art's just in a normal setting and he's just hanging out with people for a while, and it takes them a little while to figure out that this is not right or that this is not going to go well, and then it goes so fucking bad that it's just goddamn totally insane. It's just like nice.
And yeah, like this one taking place at Christmas time, it was so funny to me the first time I saw this movie that Art loves Santa Claus so fucking much. Like, so excited to, sit on Santa's lap or to dress up like Santa. It was funny to watch. Then he pisses on Santa's lap and, but it was, I just can't express just how much I like this movie.
I even though this is just some dumbass Canadian nerdery, but they did a really good job with the snow because just growing up around snow, just it always bugs me when a movie or a show does a bad job with fake snow. You're just like, God, that just looks like fake snow. Or the video game Until Dawn, that thing just pissed me off. How they just like you can tell this is written by Southerners who've never been cold a day in their life. None of it even made sense as far as the temperatures and stuff. So even it's a silly little thing to mention, but even just snow falling on the bus at the end or snow falling outside the window in the house. It's like, yeah, good job. Looks like snow.
Yeah, this movie does a lot of things very well. It's obviously with the bigger budget, like, 10 times the budget of part two. It exceeds all expectations.
Well, as far as the lore stuff goes, I guess with that too, I was feeling a lot better about it most of the way through the movie because it was just weird in the second one that it kind of came out of nowhere, and it did seem like the chick Sienna was just overpowered, just too strong. I mean, to the point that literally she just comes back from her hell box and the sword heals her, and it was a little over the top. Where I liked it that in this one there really were consequences to what happened in the last movie, that she's going crazy and seeing her dead friends and like not in a good place, and just that they brought in just a little basic lore, but just the idea of maybe Art is a demon just trying to get into this dimension, and she's the one who's got to fight. And it's like I still don't need that in my movie. And by the end, when she was fighting him, I still was feeling like I really don't need you to win. I still would just be fine if you died. But it was a lot more on the, it was at a lower level than the second one. It was a lot easier to swallow.
And it doesn't look like we'll be seeing much of the younger brother anymore.
Yeah.
By the looks and the inference, it seems like that character is over and done with. And I don't know why I can never remember this fucking kid's name, but
Yeah, I don't remember
I
either.
don't give a shit. Fuck that kid. He's dead. He was a whiny little nerd.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting at the end because I kind of thought that final big battle, I was starting to think maybe it was a dream sequence because the little cousin Gabby just was dead out of nowhere. And I was like, I just feel like probably that wouldn't happen. And then it's like, oh no, Gabby is alive. Okay, so this is really happening. Oh, but shit, the brother is dead. So it's like, oh well, see you later, dude. I guess you're dead.
Yeah, I don't know. The family dynamic too was interesting. Like you can tell that the Sienna's uncle has reservations about Sienna, like having gone and picked her up from a fucking loony bin. Who wouldn't? And the sister's trying to be understanding, and seems to be doing a good job. But that fucking kid, man, the kid, like, don't read my fucking diary. Okay, I promise. And then fucking goes and reads it immediately. Don't look through at this present. Okay, fucking looks at the present. Like, that little brat. She deserved what she got. She should have been in the place of the mom.
Yeah, that was sweet too. I think that might have been my favorite. Like the shower scene was definitely the most like awesome visual in the movie, but just for like the weird creativity of a kill, that was nice. Just like shoving a fucking tube down the mom's throat and then rats down the tube and then slitting her throat so the rats can crawl out of her neck. I mean, that's just 10 out of 10. Got to give credit to that. One thing that I thought was neat about this that did give it kind of a classic sort of feel maybe it's because of the Christmas thing, but with the kids getting killed, they're not shy about killing kids in these movies, and I think that combined with the Christmassy vibe really does feel like a like an old timey fairy tale of like Hansel and Gretel and that type of shit, and that's kind of neat too because it does just give it this, and maybe just the Christmas vibe in general. But that one just had a sort of nice classical horror feel to it that I feel like the second one also kind of didn't have.
Yeah, it definitely makes me very curious as to how they're going to go about the fourth installment because, I mean, everything seems so tiny, but you know that Art gets away. Obviously, he gets away at the end. He's still available for fun, like so. And what are they going to do for kills? Because every single one of these movies, the kills get more imaginative and creative and just extreme, like just above everything else, extreme.
That's one thing I was kind of thinking too is now that we're starting to hone in a little more on what Art is, like if the idea is that he's a demon trying to get into this world, but maybe he does have certain rules he needs to follow. And it made me think of fucking Roger Rabbit, how, like when Roger Rabbit's in a handcuffs with Eddie Valiant, and he can only pull his hand out of the handcuff at the moment that it's funny because he just has these weird tune rules. He just won't let himself do these things until the right moment. Art kind of feels like that, like he's this horrifying unstoppable murderer, but he still has to do it with like a joke or panache, or like he's not just gonna kill you. How he kept slapping Sienna in the back of the head, man, that was just great. Just weird shit like that he like has to do.
So much fun. You didn't get to see the uncle die. You get to see the aunt die, and that was fucking brutally awesome.
Yeah.
The two guys who were there to, help demo the old house that Art and Vicky were in when they were sort of in, I guess, limbo. I don't know. They weren't alive, but they weren't dead. Like those ones alone, plus the guys in the bar with the Santa, it made me happy.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 Christmas film. Yeah. Would recommend for any seasonal get together.
Absolutely. Easily the best Christmas horror movie ever.
Corey, get back over here.
Back in line, kids. Time for the real Santa.
I wonder what I got. Corey!
So since our Terrifier 3 review was a little quicker, I mean, I think we got at what we had to say about it, but it did cut a little shorter than our other ones. So I was thinking if someone is listening to this, if they've gotten all the way to our third Terrifier review, they've gone through the whole series with us, I think they maybe deserve a little bonus story. Because this is what I was thinking. So, I mean, we've been watching a lot of gross-ass movies, and there's been some times I've, like, winced a bit, like, holy fuck, look at that. Like, that fucking guy just got cut in half. But, it's still a movie. It's just like, you can't help but just think of the special effects or whatever. Body horror in a movie is never as bad as body horror in real life. And you told me a story the other day about your vasectomy that is worse than anything we've watched in any of these movies. Would you be willing to regale us with that tale?
Yeah, sure, why not? I wasn't aware that this was coming, but yeah.
Yeah, just gonna drop this on Ray. But like, this was as I've been like, walking around during the week, thinking about the movies we watched and stuff. It's just none of this stuff is nearly as disturbing as this thing that happened to you in real life.
So I kind of have two stories that kind of tie into it, but a little bit of background. So, like, I have an insanely high tolerance for painkillers. Like, for the average person, they take 2 extra strength Tylenol, and whatever they've got going on is done. It's gone. I have to take at least 4. Like 2,000 milligrams of fucking acetaminophen, Tylenol, ibuprofen, whatever. It doesn't matter. I can take an oxy and be perfectly fine.
Yeah, because I think that's how this came up. I was telling you that when I had my appendix out, I had extra oxys. And then when I tried one, it was 6 months later, I was like, holy, that fucked me up. And you were like, not me.
Yeah. And like Tylenol 3 is the same thing. Like I can easily take 2 of them and I am perfectly fine. Anyway. I went to a dentist in Alberta, and I had to get all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out. So the little weird doctor that did this was literally, he had like these little crowbars, and he had them stuck up under my fucking wisdom teeth, and he was putting all his weight trying to pop these things out. And I was feeling most of it because he used the standard amount of anesthesia or whatever the fuck it is. So after that, I was sore for fucking days. He gave me Tylenol 3s. Those Tylenol 3s were gone in 2 fucking days. The whole prescription, gone. I didn't have pain for about a day and a half. So fast forward fucking, I don't know, 15, 20 years, something like that. I've got 4 kids in total. One of them's my stepkid, who's not mine, obviously, like not biologically. But I've also got like a 21-year-old, 24-year-old, and a 31-year-old, 32-year-old. I'm old. Well, I'm actually only 40. I'm 47.
I was gonna say you're really, in a weird way, you're kind of really not old enough to have kids that old, but hey, that's life finds a way.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want any more fucking kids. Period. I just don't. I don't even like kids. I like my stepkid, but he's a good fucking kid. Anyway, I decide I'm gonna go get a fucking vasectomy just to make sure I don't have this little problem ever again. So I go, and before you go, you have to shave your fucking junk, and you have to do all this and that. And I go, and I've got the fucking gown on with nothing on underneath of it, and another tiny little doctor who might weigh 130 pounds, maybe. I'm like, listen, like, just so you know, I have a high tolerance for painkillers. I said, you are going to need to use more anesthesia than what you use on a normal person, or I'm going to feel it. He's like, oh no, don't worry. This stuff's really good. This stuff's really good. What the fuck does that mean? Like, it should always be good. Like, it's not like Pepsi versus Coke. Like, it's
We got the good shit in this hospital.
So I'm like, I'll take your word for it, basically, to the doctor. So I get on the table, I got my legs in fucking stirrups or whatever the fuck it was, and he takes the fucking scalpel and he slices into my fucking beanbag, and I feel it, and I'm like, that hurts. He's like, oh, you feel that? I'm like, yeah, I fucking feel it. He's like, oh, well, maybe the numbing just hasn't set in yet, Sorry, I forget to mention he stabbed me in the fucking balls with, in the beanbag and in the general area with the anesthesia, or the anesthetic. So, I feel the cut, I'm like, I can feel that. And he's like, oh, okay, well, the stuff inside will be fine. So he starts using these fucking clamps, and he's pulling tubes out of my fucking ball sack. And I feel it, and it hurts, because that area, when you pinch the tubes and whatever, you feel it fucking hurts. So he's pulling these things out, and I'm like, oh my god, this sucks. And then I see the little scissors that he's got, and he fucking cuts that tube, and it feels like someone has full force punched my fucking nuts into a wooden table with rocks on it. Like, it is terrible. Like, I gasped. I was like, ugh. And he's like, oh, you feel that? I'm like, ugh. Yeah, I fucking feel it. He's like, oh, the other side will be fine, don't worry about it.
That's too, like, come on, dude. Like, you're in total body horror situation here. And he's like, well, we'll just keep going.
Right.
Oh.
And, like, my eyes had widened, like I was in pain. So he then, uses this weird cauterizing tool and cauterizes the fucking tubes, which are, I assume, numb from just the pain. So, he does that. He sews me back up. It's only when he's sewing up that it finally starts to numb up a little bit. And I was like, oh, fuck. It's like, okay, now for the other side. I'm like, oh, fuck. So he goes to the other side. Again, feel the slice in the bag. Feel the fucking clamps on the tubes. Feel the fucking cut again. Feel everything until I'm being sewn up. And I literally said to the guy, you are lucky I'm in as much pain as I am right now, and you better hope that I never see you outside of this hospital, because I will fucking kill you. You will die. So that is the story of my horrific vasectomy. Oh, and then, of course, he gives me fucking Tylenol 3s, which are gone in 2 days. And when you take Tylenol 3s, they have codeine in them. So codeine, what does codeine do? It makes you unable to shit. So you're trying to push, but when you push, it's the same, like the pressure still happens to your fucking balls as well. So you're pushing, so I've got pain in my asshole, pain in my balls. Like, it's just fucking all round terrible.
Oh, god damn it. I mean, I guess the upside is you don't have to worry about any more kids, but that's fucking nuts, dude. That's insane. No pun intended. What the hell?
So I had this vasectomy when I was married to my ex-wife. I get together with my current wife. She had already had a hysterectomy. She can't have children. So, so yeah, that's my horrific tale, and it's I don't know, it's so funny because like even if it hadn't worked at the time when I was getting the vasectomy, the nurse is giving me information afterwards. She's like, you can't have sex for a couple of weeks, like 10 days to 2 weeks kind of thing. She's like, but we encourage you as after a week or two to masturbate because you want to get any remaining living sperm out of your fucking body kind of thing. Well, she didn't say fucking, but anyway. So, I had no interest of doing anything at all sexual ever again. I was like, that shit's ruined. So my balls are in pain, just like anyone that's had a vasectomy. You have fucking frozen peas that you're resting on your fucking junk. You're taking painkillers. You have an awful ex-wife that you're with. You just don't want to have sex ever again. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I just thought that fits with like Terrifier because there's so much just horrible stuff that happens to people. Or like, we were just talking about Green Room, guy gets his stomach cut open. Or I think back to like things that I had a hard time watching, like when I saw Hostel in the theater and the chick gets the blowtorch to the face, things that stick in your mind. And just none of it is 1% as bad as hearing like the real story of like, I mean, it's extra bad because it's your fucking dick and balls, but like feeling a cut. It's like, and just that it's like, it's almost worse that it's in a hospital and they're not supposed to be hurting you. Like that makes it even more fucking insane. That like, oh man.
I mean, I get that there are people that go to hospitals who are looking for medications. Like there's nothing wrong with them. They're just junkies or whatever. They're looking for free drugs of some sort. But I took the guy aside and my concern was I didn't want to feel my nuts get chopped up. And he's like, "Oh no, don't worry. It'd be okay. It'd be okay." And I was like, fuck, it wasn't okay at all.
Oh, man. So yeah, thanks for joining us for the Terrifier trilogy. In a way, I'm sorry you had to hear that story because it's gonna stick with you. Like but that's why I thought it was like worth telling. Because yeah, that story like days later, I was just like little shivers would run down my spine. Just like fuck. So thank you for going through that for us, Ray.
You're welcome.